What's up, tennis players? In today's video, we're gonna go over the most important singles tennis tactic, and thus we're gonna go over also the most important singles tennis tactic drill and how to do it just right. As always, if it's not your first time here and you're enjoying the content, the best way to support this channel is to interact. Subscribe, comment if you have any questions, and if you end up liking the video, please like the video. Okay, so if you spent any time in tennis now, you probably are aware that one of the most important things to do in tennis singles is to reduce unforced errors. How can we miss less? Starting particularly from our first line of defense, kind of the baseline area. Now, what you don't want to do to reduce unforced errors from this area is to push the ball. You don't have to reduce your pace to reduce your unforced errors. If you have good fundamentals, and I'm going to link in the description the most important tennis tip I have for ground strokes that I have to go over with 95% of the clients I first start working with. If you understand good ball striking, you can hit hard and you can reduce unforced errors. How do you do that? Well, you do it with targets, namely a cross-court deep target. Nets lower, courts longer, aiming safe in from the baseline. This is the most important way to reduce unforced errors in tennis singles tactics. And the best way to work on it is to rally cross courts. Go out with a friend and practice hitting the ball back and forth cross court. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it properly in this video. But the reason you want to be doing this as a large part of your training routine is you want it to be your default. When you don't have time to think and you don't know anything else to do, you want to have your default be to just rip the ball deep cross court to a big target. So there's three really important things to keep in mind when you go out and rally cross courts with your partner. Number one is intensity. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, don't I always try hard? Well, maybe, but you have to be careful about having long, sustained drilling where you're starting to conserve your energy. That's not tennis. Tennis is an anaerobic sport. It's short sprints. If you find yourself starting to conserve energy and go a little slower because you know you have a long ways to go, that means it's time to take a water break. You're much better off really practicing like you're going to play. Go high intensity, arrive early, move, take those extra steps, and then take more water breaks, more intensity, take more little breaks, shorter burst of energy, and that's going to better represent tennis, how you're actually going to play a match, and it's going to make you more successful in rallying cross courts. Number two, rally cross courts with recovery. It's one of my pet peeves when I go out and I watch players rallying cross courts and they're just camped out in this corner like they're actually playing tennis. This obviously isn't real tennis. In your mind, you got to pretend like your opponent could hit down the line at any time and you might have to cover that. That's the way to keep it real and really practicing hitting and getting back. Especially don't sit over here and only hit forehands on the backhand side. For a righty, I can't stand watching that either. So make sure you're hitting and recovering back. Now, how much are you recovering back? Well, you're recovering back as much as you can until your opponent's about to strike the ball. Then obviously you have to organize your feet to get ready to go back out again. I actually put a really good video up just recently about Rafael Nadal movement. I'm going to link it down in the description. It's about how much dwell time do you spend observing your shot without just assuming the recovery. So make sure you're hitting and getting back with every ball, and that links up with intensity as well, because that's going to be more of a workout. It's going to be a little tougher when you're rallying cross courts with some recovery. And finally, number three, with agreement. You need to make sure you and your training partner are in agreement that when you feel it or they hit a shorter ball or you're just in the groove and you think it's the right time, you can practice ripping it up the line. You don't want to get it to the point where it's like, hey, we're supposed to be rallying cross courts and this jerk hit a ball up the line. No, you and your partner should both be practicing doing it. Again, this is a big important part of singles tennis tactics, is when is it time to pull the trigger and go up the line and try to hurt your opponent. So make sure you and your partner both say, hey, just so you know, like, let's rally cross courts, but when you're feeling it or I'm feeling it or one of us hits a shorter ball, feel free to go ahead and practice up the line. That's just a mature way to train that any mature athlete should be doing when they rally cross courts. So to review, make sure when you go out there with a partner, You're practicing with intensity. Really work hard and take more water breaks. Do it with recovery. Pretend like they could go up the line, and in this case, we know they really could because you also have the agreement with your partner that, hey, we can also practice going up the line when the time's right. So implement these 3 ideas in your next training session, and I know it's going to make you a better tennis player. It's going to help you win more. Thanks again for watching the video, and I will see you next time.